Because I've spent 15 years of my career in machine translation, which is an effort that tries to solve this problem. Because if we had had perfect machine translation, all language barriers would have been taken away, and we could easily get access to any document in a library, and we would just have it translated by a wonderful translation system, and we could all read it. But unfortunately, if you look around you, you see that the present-day quality of machine translation is awful. It's embarrassing, it's bad, it's usable in certain very restricted contexts, and but for normal use it's totally unusable. So libraries do not have access to such an instrument to bridge language barriers, and basically I think people have to accept and realize that. But you also have to realize that even if in the absence of perfect machine translation systems, there are lots of things that people can do and libraries can do across languages. Because some people go to a library to read a book, and of course if I don't read Russian and they give me a Russian book, I can't read it. But many people go to libraries also to find information. They want to get answers to specific questions, and sometimes the answer can be found in books or in documents, digital documents, in a different language. But fortunately, even if machine translation is really still very poor, translingual or cross-lingual information retrieval or information extraction is flourishing. There I think the researchers are doing quite well. So if I come up with a query for some specific piece of information, then I'm sure that the digital libraries can easily, using existing methodology, give me the answer I want to have. So you have to explain to people what sort of things they can expect in terms of crossing language barriers. So you really have to manage people's expectations. Don't expect a perfect translation of a novel, but you can expect getting information across language barriers. I think that what you see is that in every single country, every single European country, people are doing their own digitization according to their own national priorities and national research programs, and that's good. But at the same time, it's a pity that since countries are doing different things, there is very little opportunity for, let's say, transnational research. So it would be very interesting to see some European efforts aimed at, let's say, simultaneous creation of similar data in different countries, so that researchers could really do joint research across national borders, transnational research, because that would really mean a big difference, I think, in research, so that you start a sort of defragmentation exercise in the whole area of research. Yeah, well, the Centres of Competence, I think they're extremely important because, you know, in my daily life, I'm the director of a research infrastructure, and we are dealing with language. We want to give our research community access to digital language material wherever it's located in Europe, from all over Europe. But the problem is that if you start digitizing language material, especially older material, it exists as a picture. And the community we are serving is not very much helped with having access to pictures. What they want to have is, they may want to see the picture of a document, but they also may want to have access to the linguistic content, because if they're linguists, they want to study linguistic features of a text, or they might be interested in the content in such a document. So they have to be able to extract the content from a document. And that means that between the picture and, let's say, the usable variant of the same document, there's a very wide gap that needs to be bridged, so that you start from the picture, and then thanks to the expertise of the Centre of Competence, the gap between the picture and the usable format of the text or document will be bridged, and that's really essential, I think. And so I think it's very good that these Centres of Competence exist, and I hope that they will continue to exist, and that someone will be prepared to continue to fund them, because, you know, they can't live on air. They really have to have some financial support in order to be active. Europe can do various things, because it's important to keep in mind that for digitization of old text, there's no big market. So I think it's very difficult for private enterprise to embark on, let's say, development of such technologies, because there may be little chance that they can earn back their investment. So it would be very good if at the European level there would be funding to encourage private players to invest in the development of these technologies that are necessary. So that's one thing. And especially, and that's very important, if you think of the smaller European languages, the European Commission should support the development of such technologies, not just for the big languages where there might be a potential market, but also for the very small languages that are spoken by just a handful of people. I mean, there are a few very big languages in Europe, but most of them are small, and they cannot really offer big market opportunities to private enterprise. So I think there should be some European funding to get this off the ground. I think there are different ways to do it. I think one way is simply to try to think of interesting demonstrator projects that show the potential of using this material. Just invest in small projects so that other people, who might be researchers or school teacher or whatever, when they see it say, wow, this is something that I would like to be able to do as well on my own language, on my own document collection. So I think these pilot demonstrators could be a very interesting instrument. And secondly, I think it would be very interesting to promote the use of this material in the whole education system, so that people from a very young age are used to working with the digital material and learning what the potential is to use digital methods in their research or in their future career. I think there is an enormous, well, let's say, digital divide if you look at the ages, the people who belong to different ages. People of my age category, they are basically, I think, lost for digital life. You know, they are too old to change. They want to stick to their old methods. But you have to capture the young people, and then that means that you have to start in the education system and make using digital methods as natural as using a mobile phone.